Mhm. Yeah, I'm here. Hi. How you doing? Good morning to you. But it's time for our daily bread. It's one more day. One more day on top of the ground, and the ground's not on top of you. See, that's pretty good. So we shall return right after this. We have a lot of things to talk about there. Okay, not a whole lot of things, but some things. And today's show is the art of thinking or not. We'll get to that in a little bit here, okay? But don't you guys go no place. We shall be right back, okay? So don't go no place. I'll be back. Seriously, I'll be back. Hopefully, I'll be back anyway.
Whether we give a word of encouragement or a bag of groceries, God calls us to attend to the needs of others. I'm glad that you've joined us for this daily encouragement from Our Daily Bread. Today's reading was written by James Banks, and it's titled, Jesus in Disguise. My son Jeff recently participated in a homeless simulation. He spent 3 days and 2 nights living on the streets of his city, sleeping outside in below freezing temperatures. Without food, money, or shelter, he relied on the kindness of strangers for his basic needs. On one of those days, his only food was a sandwich, bought by a man who heard him asking for stale bread.
We're at our best when we encourage others with our words, with our actions, with our presence. Welcome to today's encouragement from Our Daily Bread.
It's early.
Today's reading, titled Lincoln's Pockets, was written by Mike Whitmer. The night U.S. President Abraham Lincoln was shot at Ford's Theater in 1865, his pockets contained the following: 2 spectacles, a lens polisher, a pocket knife, a watch fob, a handkerchief, a leather wallet containing a $5 Confederate bill, and 8 newspaper clippings, including several that praised him and his policies. I wonder what the Confederate money was doing in the president's pocket, but I have little doubt about the glowing news stories. Everyone needs encouragement, even a great leader like Lincoln. Can you see him, in the moments before the fateful play, perhaps reading them to his wife? Who do you know who needs encouragement? Everyone. Look around you. There isn't one person in your line of vision who is as confident as they seem. We're all one failure, snide comment, or bad hair day away from self-doubt. What if we all obeyed God's command in Romans 15 to please our neighbors for their good, to build them up? What if we determined only to speak gracious words that are sweet to the soul and healing to the bones, as Proverbs 16 encourages? What if we wrote these words down so friends could reread and savor them? Then we'd all have notes in our pockets or on our phones, and we'd be more like Jesus, who did not please himself, but lived for others. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Romans chapter 15, verses 1 through 6. We who are strong ought to bear with the failings of the weak, and not to please ourselves. Each of us should please our neighbors for their good, to build them up. For even Christ did not please himself, but as it is written, the insults of those who insult you have fallen on me. For everything that was written in the past was written to teach us, so that through the endurance taught in the Scriptures and the encouragement they provide, we might have hope. May the God who gives endurance and encouragement give you the same attitude of mind toward each other that Christ Jesus had, so that with one mind and one voice you may glorify the God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ. Let's pray. Father in heaven, it's so good to receive encouragement from others. In your power, please help us to share kind words and encouraging actions with others today. Words and actions that reveal to them that we truly care. May they see your loving, kind, and encouraging ways reflected in our lives. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries. We're at our best when we encourage others with our words.
I'm getting motivated. Come on, work. Go to work. That's what they say. Hard work, I earn my pay. Let's go to work.
Hard work, you pack up the shoes. Hard work, you load them up. Hard work, manifest. Hard work, you gotta do it right. Hard work, here we go. With the sun, I'm ready to rock. Hard work, I'm earning my pay. Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, we moving on out. We gotta go and do the job. Load 'em up
On the airplane.
in the early morning rain. Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, let me hear. Hard work, turn it up. Hard work, fire up. Everybody on the plane. Gotta sit 'em on down. Hard work, the engines are on. Hard work, the mission is go. Hard work, that's what they say. Hard work, I do it for play. Hard work, I earn my pay. Hard work,
Do it every day.
hard work.
Okay, we did enough of this running already. I gotta go get a profile because I didn't feel like running this morning. But I gotta go get to the medics right quick. And for the first certain come here, wondering why Elkins wasn't running. Okay, because I was feeling rough last night. I was hanging out and having a beer. Okay, well actually I never really had a beer before in my life, but I'm gonna drink one day. My son tells me I probably need to get drunk at least once. Both of them think I need to mellow out or something like that. I don't know what's going on with that. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Hope this day finds everybody well. It is time on the wall set. It is 7:14 in the morning. And if you are up and about, if you're on top of the ground and the ground's on top of you, well, I think you're doing pretty good. First of all, let me see what the weather holds for us today, and then we'll get on to some other important things wherever that weather is. I got it right here, right in front of me. Outside, if you happen to go outside right now, it's 76 degrees outside. Today, though, is going to be, there's a 67% chance of precipitation today. Cloudy this morning, scattered thunderstorms developing this afternoon. High around 82 degrees. I'm loving it. Okay. Winds light and variable. Chance of rain, 70%. So chances are it's going to rain. On tonight, 19% chance of rain, which is probably means it's going to rain a little here, a little there. Cloudy skies early, and then partly cloudy after midnight. Lows around 73 degrees, winds light and variable. And tomorrow, according to, if you know, I hate saying tomorrow like we really know what's going to happen tomorrow, but a 24% chance of precipitation, partly cloudy skies, a stray shower or a thunderstorm is possible. High 92 degrees on tomorrow. Winds light and variable. Again, right now the high today is going to be around 82 degrees with a low tonight of 73. And right now though it is 76 degrees. According to the weatherman, it feels like it's 78. Like I can really tell the difference. To me, it's hot. It's still hot. It's real hot, but that's okay. We can live with that. So that's your weather for this day. And you know, we had such a great time yesterday, such a great time. And then yesterday, all night long, I had to yesterday I had to defend my position on the things I espoused yesterday about you know, about the big lie, about things that we tell our people and tell folks, and then they believe it, and then the next thing you know, they don't do anything because the excuse is already there. You know, the excuse for failure is already there, so you don't have to defend it. You know, you can just, well, you know, I'm poor, and I'm poor, and that's it. I'm destined to be here. There's nothing I can do about it. You know, it's already there. We have done our children a disservice by telling them what they can't do rather than what they can do. You know, it's nobody's fault. It's always your fault. But then we're gonna leave that alone. That we talk about that as we go along today. The lessons of life today are these. And you will find yourself probably in this situation. Lesson in life are the things we learn by living. There are some things you can learn out of a book, but most things, the important things of life, you learn by living. Books are good, though. I like them. I still like books. I learn better reading a book than I do looking on the internet, to tell you the truth. But the lesson of life for today is the 13th day of August, 2025. There are times when standing means standing alone. And I'm pretty sure that if you got some age on you, you had to do that a few times. Okay, but there are times when standing means standing alone. But if you know in your heart that you are right, never stand down. Now that's the good part. But there's a price to be paid. There's a price to be paid, and you will pay with something. So before you stand all alone, ask yourself, are you willing to pay the price? Because there will be a price exacted from you for standing up. Because even though it sounds courageous, and it is courageous, actually, as a matter of fact, but it will cost you something. So before you get out there on that limb, you know, before you get out on that limb, just remember, it will cost you something. There are times when standing means standing alone. But if you know it in your heart, if you know it with every fiber of your soul that you are right, never stand down. But again, remember, it will cost you something. You must be prepared to pay the cost. Or you'll probably get your money back, but there will be a cost. Word of the day. Now, this word is an interesting word because if you say it in the wrong company, people are going to look at you kind of funny. So this is one of those words that you don't use everywhere because there's some people not intelligent enough to understand when they hear this come out of your mouth, they're gonna well, the hair on the back of their neck will probably go up. But bear in mind, though, it is a legal word. It is a word that's been around for a long time. Okay. So the word is enigma. Now, I didn't see there. I didn't say the other word that you thought I said. I said enigma. That's right. Enigma. Enigma. I didn't say the other word. I said enigma. What does it mean? I have been described as an enigma. Okay. And I've been described as the other one too sometimes. So just to be fair. But the word enigma means it is someone or something that is difficult to understand or to explain. And it comes from the Greek word that means to speak in riddles. Okay. So the word for the day is enigma. Now, I want you guys to sometime today, you need to go out to your boss or somebody and use this word. And I want you to see if you get a weird response from people when you use this word today. Enigma. Okay. From the Greek word that means to speak in riddles. It is someone or something that is difficult to understand or explain. I've been calling enigma a long time. Yeah, that's okay. I'm not apologizing for that. I mean, somebody once said, everybody's thinking the same. Somebody is not thinking at all. Play Rita Pearson. Listen, Rita Pearson was a sweetheart. Okay, she was a sweetheart. She's, from what I can understand, she was one hell of a teacher. Okay, so let's not be putting her down. Okay, I'm just saying. I mean, I don't play it every day. Someone said, get up and jog backwards for people. I'll do that tomorrow because tomorrow's like my Friday, so I'm gonna do that. Hey, I'm going on Hagler's show today. As a matter of fact, the world wants to see me on TV one more time, so I'm gonna do the Hagler show at 11 o'clock today, 11 to 12. So if you just want, I don't really know what channel it's on. I know it's on WAKA, something like that. But I'm gonna disperse my great wisdom on the airways of the television airways from 11 to 12. So that's okay. But I'm pretty sure Montgomery will be much better off once I have spoken. Anyway, haven't heard it in a week. Well, I'm sorry. I don't play it every day. Come on, Dr. Joe, give me a break. Anyway, and now let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you what has really surprised me. All the people who are whining about the president federalizing Washington D.C. At least the police. And listen, most people don't know what's going on in that city. I mean, they don't know. I mean, it's one of the most dangerous cities in America. Okay. Oh yeah, I love 6 words too. Yeah. 6 words is good. Okay. Listen, there's some things that need to be heard over and over and over again. Okay. Now, let me give you my thoughts on Washington D.C. for those who don't have the internet and things of that nature. The president, which Washington D.C. is our nation's capital. Everybody knows that. Everybody, it's our nation's capital. Now, and this is how I justify in my own mind to support the process. Okay. It is a place that represents, when people come to this country, just about everybody wants to go to Washington, D.C. They want to see the monuments. They want to see Lincoln. They want to see the things that symbolize that you are in America. Okay. It's getting pretty dangerous up there right now. Okay. We've had people who have attempted to break in, okay, believe this or not, into Secret Service vehicles. They've done it in Washington, D.C. I mean, really, the Secret Service, the people who get paid to guard the dignitaries and the president of the United States, and we are so juvenilistic and heathenish, we're going to break into their cars. Really? On November 2023, Secret Service agents were protecting presidential granddaughter discharged their weapon when 3 individuals, and these 3 individuals attempted to break into their unoccupied protective vehicle. No injury, of course, was reported. And even though I don't really like making this an example of the lack of ability of the police in Washington, D.C., and on January the 6th, and 452 people got charged with I don't know what some got charged with, but I was glad the president. Now, the problem is, had the had the police been able to do their job in Washington D.C., what happened on January 6th wouldn't have happened. Okay, but they didn't do their job then either. So they weren't able to do their job. So we ended up with people going to places they probably shouldn't have been. And listen, I'm not excusing all the behavior of some of them folks on January 6th, but that's why we have police. That's why we have police. So they keep order. They didn't. The police didn't. Okay. So the people stormed the Capitol. Now I still agree with why they were angry and why a lot of them were mad. But was that the right thing to do? Probably not. But it wasn't treasonous. Our Constitution gives us the right to protest our grievances to our government. And when that government gets to the point where we feel that it is not listening to us, then we need to take matters in our own hands sometimes. Okay. Go up there, knock on the door and say, hey, okay. When they open the door, slap them one time, say, hey, it's government of the people, by the people, for the people. Okay. It's not we don't work for you. You work for us. Okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. Okay. But they forget about that sometimes. Okay. Suicide suspects shooting at the Secret Service. One guy was killed. Okay. And most of you didn't know this. 2 Israeli embassy staff members were shot and killed in Washington, D.C. Okay. The suspect was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and several firearm felonies after they attacked outside the Jewish Museum. Now, when I hear these things, I think these things only happen in America. Really, with all the police, with everybody walking around with a gun. Now, from March to May, that's just March to May. I haven't got the updated statistics from March to May. This is happening in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. Okay, our nation's capital. This is what happened, and you don't hear this because you over here because it's Chocolateville. It really is, and we don't want to talk about no city that's predominantly black because we want to be politically correct. Okay, in March, they had 135 shootings. In April, they had 131 shootings. In May, they had 203 shootings. Okay. The average is about 156 shootings per month, which is roughly 5 shootings per day, or about 1 every 5 hours. Okay. Now, I'm asking myself, do we really have a police department, okay, in Washington, D.C.? Okay. And all total, they had 400 in those 3 months this year, 469 shootings over 3 months. Okay. And you blame Trump for wanting to federalize Washington, D.C., because the people who are there obviously are incapable, and the mayor there, listen, I think there's some great women leaders, okay, but not in Washington, D.C. Okay, there's some great women leaders in most cities, and I love them. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Margaret Thatcher. I love me some Condoleezza Rice, but most women that are rabid Democrats are infused with that philosophy of the Democrats, are just not good leaders. Okay, we put them in there because of their gender rather than their expertise. And again, every big city, Baltimore showed us that. St. Louis showed us that. Los Angeles is showing us that. Every time a woman gets in office that is, Democrat for the most part, they don't do a very good job. It is not because of their gender. It is because of their philosophy, the things they believe in. Yesterday I explained to you what philosophy is. It is the recipe for the things in your life. It is the things that you believe that make you who you are. And some people's philosophy, it's good. It's not very good. So in Washington, D.C., there's an average of 156 shootings per month. Now, if you ask me, well, what do you want them to do? I want them to get control of Washington, D.C. Okay, that's for the nation's capital. That is a lot. Does anyone understand? And we didn't hear much about what happened on the bypass the other day. Some other woman got shot. Her woman got shot. Her car, her windows got broken into. Her car got shot at, and the bullet came through her window. So we almost had another major incident here when it comes to these guns. Listen, I'm all for the Second Amendment. Really, I'm all for the Second Amendment. Okay, I really am. But we need to modify a couple of things. Okay, do you think there are great leaders on the Montgomery School Board along that feminine superintendent? I think that women, just to be fair, women are nurturers. They're not disciplinarians, and we need people to nurture our kids and other human beings too. However, now my superintendent, my representative is Lisa Keith, who I'm absolutely pleased with. Her thing's about excellence. Her thing is about listen. All the excuses don't matter. Let's see what we got here. Are we improving? Are we not improving? And every time we get a new superintendent in, and which I've been trying to get him on, every time we get a new superintendent in, we come up with all these bold plans. But guess what? Until we get rid of the Department of Education, their plans really don't mean much of anything, because DC would come down, or they'll threaten you with holding your money. I said, let them keep the money. Let them keep the money. Again, education, schools are the only thing that have gotten progressively worse in the last 40 years. It's the only thing. Everything else, medicine has improved, computers have improved, cars have improved, bikes have improved. Now we got electric bikes now. I mean, we got everything's improved except the presentation of education. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Why we have such a difficult thing? Probably because probably because everybody wants to tell everybody else who about the things they know through experience. Okay, one thing about it, all of us have never been teachers, but let me tell you, all of us have been. All of us have been a student of somebody's. We all have been to school. We know the things that irritated us in the classroom, and that's big mouth people who are disrespectful, and things of that nature. No discipline. That is the main problem I've had with Montgomery Public Schools since my son was in there. Just no discipline and no implementation of it. Okay. I mean, I went up there the other day, and I saw somebody with a cell phone. And I said, I thought that you're not supposed to have cell phones in school. And if you do have it here, you're supposed to have it in a pouch. But they didn't have theirs in a pouch. They didn't have theirs. So I just don't understand it. Why do we do that? Okay. Somebody said, thanks for coming to help you. The whole would be too much in the morning. Donald, I thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Yeah, you're all right with me. I don't care what that. Yeah, I do. I'm not. My name ain't Denzel Washington or anything like that. But then again, though, there's only one person in this town uglier than I am, and that's you. I mean, I ain't mad at you, but you can't help. You cannot help. What you look like. I ain't mad at you. Okay, I look good for an old guy though. Anyway, moving right along. So that is my issue. And yesterday, everybody argued with me all day yesterday about poverty and crime. People say there's poverty because there's crime. I call that bull hockey, Bravo Sierra, whatever you want to call it. People are not, people are impoverished often because of crime. Okay. Crime does not cause poverty. Well, actually, crime does cause the implementation of poverty, because nobody wants to live where you live if you are going to let hooligans run the streets, people's houses getting broken into. Our insurance goes up. if you let me put it this way, if you got a certain amount of burglaries in your community, your home insurance is going to not only your home insurance, but your car insurance is going to go up. If you got a lot of crime in your community, so it is the crime that causes poverty. Poverty does not cause crime. Okay, now y'all can take that to the bank if you want to, but it's true. Okay, it's true. Okay, who's this? Bird needs to eat whole by himself, and he's small. He ain't that small. He's taller than I am. But move right along. Let's see, Kevin. That's too much like common sense. That's true, and common sense is not common. It's just not common anymore. It's just we have. And again, today I was going to talk about the art of thinking. I had a woman last night just absolutely make 1 million excuses. Well, how come? I said, here's a question. I went, here's my question of today. So I knew I had something I wanted to talk about. Here's the question of today. And really, I want somebody to truly answer the question. Here's the question. Do you believe that everything we do, every situation we find ourselves in, and I'm not placing blame any place, but everything we do has something to do with the decisions in life that we make. Now, the problem with decisions is that the consequences are not known until after the decisions are made, which is natural. But I argue with somebody for about 2 hours like that. Yeah, every last one of us are where we are, good, bad, or indifferent, because of the decisions that we made. Why is it that we do not want to take responsibility for our own decisions? And I'm not. Listen. Some of us are put in a position that we have to make decisions that suck. Okay, go left when should. Admiral McRaven, who's the used to be the top Navy SEAL, which I like him as a military man, but he always jumping on Trump. Come on now, come on, like Lou Ho said the other day. If you finish medical school, they call you doctor. No, doesn't make any difference what your GPA is. If you finish medical school, they call you doctor. Well, guess what? In America, if you get all the votes, they call you president. Okay, and most of us will never ever be president. Okay, man, you were on the day. I wasn't at McDonald's. Okay, but again, we are products of the decisions that we make. Wherever we find ourselves, it had something to do with a decision that we made. Me, you, and everybody else. My son tells me all the time. My oldest boy says, you had a lot more money if you worked harder. Well, okay, you may be right. You may be right. You just may be right about that. But we all are products of the decision that we make. Now, we're not responsible for the all the things that happen after you make that decision, but we are responsible for where we are in the decision that we make. See Don Laurie right there. See Don right there. Don is responsible because he's not too bright in the mornings. I like him, but he's just not too. But that's not his fault. He just he can't help himself. He's jealous of me because he wants my jump wings. He's angry at himself because he's not an airborne guy like me. He's not a paratrooper like me, and I belong to an elite fraternity called United States Army Paratroopers. Okay, so we are, we walk softly and carry a big stick. Okay, although I'm not really carrying a stick anymore because I'm too old to do it, but I do it if they call me back. I mean, if things get tough around the world, I'll show up at Fort Benning and train the young folks. Okay, that's what I do. If they call me back, I'll go down there and train young people. Okay, I'm just saying. So he's angry because he didn't make the right decision. He didn't join the army. He joined the Air Force, and he either joined it or got. I don't think they had the draft when he. They may have. I don't know. The draft stopped in 1974, I believe, or 73, and I think it was carried out until 74. But the mandatory draft stopped, so he can't help it. So you see, we all. Okay, like General Admiral McRaven says, you turn left rather than turning right, you save your whole platoon. If you turn right rather than turn left, y'all get killed. But it is up to us to understand that and this is what we do not teach our folks anymore. It is up to us to understand the decision that we make in life will follow us the rest of our lives. Okay, and stop all this whining about. Well, you can't do, and if we get one more person that tells us that somebody's child's got ADHD and all that stuff, I'll tell you. Anyway, so moving right along. The other thing, moving right along. The biggest whine it is now today in America. The biggest whiner right now is that people are whining about because EBT, and somebody told me EBT, electronic. I think it's called electronic benefits something, but they came up with a new name for it. EBT, Eat Better Today. So I never heard of that. But now I had them. Listen, we got some food stamps when I was coming up, but they look like food stamps, right? You didn't have a little card that looks like a credit card you put in there. See, we were going to be totally embarrassed when we got up to the payment clerk up there, and they said, you had to pull out this book said Department of Agriculture on it, right? And it was food stamps. So we had to show the book. Now you just go up there with your card like this, and you put it in the machine, and we can't tell that you're paying with food stamps, which I don't care. Some people need them, but it does seem unfair that the older people don't seem to get them. And young folks just gonna have a bunch of kids end up getting on it. But the old folks, they gotta decide whether or not they're gonna buy dog food, pay the light bill, and all that stuff. Speaking of light bill. So yesterday, I'll get back to my other point here in a second. Yesterday, I spent 30 minutes on the phone trying to find one of our PSC commissioners to get them to come on so we can have a conversation about our light bills and all these other things that seem to go up sometimes, whether or not we got more money or not. Yeah, Eating Better Today, EBT card. Yeah. Okay. Now I never heard that till yesterday. And and I'm not mad at people who are getting it because I listen. But if you go on the internet, according to the people on the internet, now if you're 64 years old or older, you have a right to get a what's it called? Some sort of extra benefits card. It's the biggest lie told to man. Okay, it's a big. I ain't gonna lie to you. I tried to get it. I said, listen, if I can get a $900 card to help buy groceries because I'm an old fart, then I'm gonna go down there and try to get the card. Well, it turns out that you have to give up. If you're on Social Security, you have to give up your money to get that card. Okay, you gotta be A and B. The card comes in A and B. I just got A. I didn't need the B part because I just go to the VA anyway. I've never been treated wrong. They never sent me a bill. So why in the world do I not want to go to the VA? Yeah, that's where I'm headed to, as a matter of fact. So getting back to where we were. So anyway, I tried to talk to the people at PSC yesterday, and we're trying to get somebody on to answer these questions. How come our light bill keeps going up when my check ain't going up? So when it gets to the point that it keeps going up, that nobody can afford their light bill, are we going to put people on the street? Are we going to let old folks die inside their houses because it's too hot or because it's too cold? I don't know what we're going to do about that, but we've got to do something. We have got to stop raising these prices up. And the PSC is supposed to be there to look out for the citizens. I think they're done. Now, I don't know. Twinkle is someplace still in town, Kavanaugh, but she's working for I think she worked for the Department of Agriculture, something like that. She did a piss poor job of managing Alabama Power. I love them. Good business. That's fine. But they don't really care. Now, and they don't really care if you eat or not. If you old people, young people, they really don't care. It's a business. I understand it is a business, but there are some businesses that have to take in consideration the human capital that they assist, the human beings that they provide for. They make a whole lot of money. This year they're almost at $1 billion profit. So how much? I'm with Barack Obama now. Okay, how much is enough? How much money is enough, Dr. Joe? How much profit is enough? If $1 billion is not enough profit, I said profit, not all the money they're taking in, but profit. How much is enough? Has Alabama Power ever sent us a check say, hey, thank you for being a customer for 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70? No, they don't care. They don't care. I'm just saying, how much is enough? That's the question. How rich? Because when you die, somebody else is going to spend your money. Okay. Hopefully somebody in your family, hopefully, but you never can tell. So, but how much money is enough? Hate to sound like a Democrat, but on that one, I'm with a Barack Obama on this one. How much is enough? Of course, now him and Michelle made a little money too since they've been out the White House. So I guess Rockefeller, somebody asked Rockefeller this, and he said, I just need a little more. I just need a little more. Okay, whatever. Okay. So anyway, there are people who are complaining that the SNAP card, you can't buy, you have to buy healthy food, which makes sense to me. I mean, we don't give you free money and free food just so you can buy potato chips, a soda. If you want that stuff, then pay for that out of your own pocket. Okay, but if you want to get some vegetables, if you want to get some rice, I guess, and as a matter of fact, we ought not pay for the meat. You don't need meat. Okay, so leave that alone. Let them keep the meat. Yeah, let them have some meat. Yeah, that's not a problem. Let them have some meat. But they don't need. You ought not be able to buy steak with an EBT card. Okay, you ought to be able to buy bologna, lunch meat, stuff like that. Something to make sandwiches out of for the kids send them to school. Will y'all disagree? Y'all disagree with not buying steak with EBT card? I mean, listen. I mean, last week there were two guys who went into a store and stole about 50 steaks. Now they're going to jail for a little while. I hope not too long. I hope they don't. But okay. Now, if I'm headed out the door with your steaks, I need to go to jail for a couple of days. But if I'm still in bologna, then that's okay, because that means I'm really hungry and I just need to get something to eat. Okay, I'm with that. Okay, let's give the brother a break. But if all you stole was steaks, Dr. Joe would like to meet. Can we do breakfast someday? All right. Dr. Joe, you can answer him on you can answer him on online here. I'll put it there. I'll put your answer up if he wants to. I don't know if I'd go to dinner with him. I'm not sure I'd go to breakfast with him. Okay, I'm just not sure. So anyway, getting back to my main questions, I get diverted easy. Aren't we all responsible for the decisions that we make, and does not those decisions affect us for the rest of our lives? Who is responsible? Now, the only thing we do not know about the decisions that we make is the consequences of those decisions. But some people want to run from those decisions. Okay, some people, and the woman was arguing with me like, well, what if somebody has a baby? Well, they made the decision. No, they didn't make the decision to have a baby. I said, did they have sex? She said, yeah, well, they made the decision. Okay, I mean, it is what it is. You make the decision to have it. I mean, the baby didn't ask to be here. We was having a good time, and the baby's here. Aren't we responsible for those? Everything that happens to us is a product of decisions that we have made. And Lord have mercy, we all have made some dumb ones, and we have made every once in a while, though, we make a good one. Every once in a while, we make a good decision. But I would say that we make more dumb decisions than we do really great decisions in life, because mistakes will be made. our perception of life is different at 14 than it is at 34. Okay, our perception is different from life. Reality sets in at some age, and then you have to make your decisions differently. But we all are products of our. And the argument she put forth last night was, well, I may not can live in a great neighborhood. Well, why can't you live in a great neighborhood? Because I don't make the money. Why don't you make the money? Because I don't have the skills. Well, why don't you have the skills? Really, why don't you? You could be a lawyer, a doctor, a machinist, a plumber, anything that you want to be. So why do we like running away from our decisions? Because Lord knows I made some goofballs, and I'm I am not the example of great decision making process in life. But I have realized through experience that those decisions land us where we are, either now or in the future. Okay, so I'm just saying we don't want to we don't want to. All Alabama Power would do is send you a bill and say, pay it or light a candle. Well, that's true. That's true. Listen, there's where our Public Service Commission, which is I'm trying to get somebody on, trying to get somebody on from the Public Service Commission. They hardly ever. You try to call these people, and they really don't answer the phone too much. So yes. So and then I had to put it. Now yesterday I did something I don't normally. Well, send us an email. So I sent them an email. We'll see whether or not. It gets back. Again, if you want to email me for the show only, it's LOJIC 2025 and that's strictly if something I said crazy on the podcast here and you don't like it, feel free to send me an email. That email again is LOJIC2025@gmail.com. Logic. Okay, I couldn't find the G, so I had to use the J because the other one wasn't available. I know how to spell it, but you know what I mean. It wasn't there. So anyway, so what everybody think about people think they're being punished? How can you be punished when we're feeding you for free? Okay, we're just telling you if you're gonna buy sodas, if you're gonna buy potato chips, then buy that with your own money. Get a job, whatever you got to do. We don't need to pay for you to have a good time eating. We need you pay. We're gonna pay you to have nutritious food so you can survive. But you don't need potato chips. You don't need Milky Ways. You don't need Paydays. You don't need Coca-Cola. You don't need Pepsi. Lord knows I know I don't need any of it. Even though I do like it. But if you're going to ask me to pay, and you're eating better than I am, you're eating the things that you want rather than the things that you need. I can't get the things I want, so I have to eat what I can afford. So I'm just saying, yeah. I think Alabama's doing a great job of that. Okay, you don't need to eat all that because how many of us have gone to the store and people ask me, "Can I save some food stamps?" I said, "No, I don't. No, I'm good. I don't need the food stamps because why are you going to give me food stamps if you can sell them? Then why do you have them?" Well, we know why people have them. And listen, I understand that sometimes life is tough and you have to do what you have to do. There's no doubt about it. And I don't want to sit here like I've never done things that I had to do because I had to do them. I understand that. But again, that was because of decisions that I have made. And we all make decisions. Okay. We all make them. And that, which is one of the reasons why we named this show Decisions, because everything we do in life requires us to make one. It just requires us to make a decision. The question is, what will be the consequence of that decision? And so there's where we get into trouble. Okay. So don't have 5 or 10 kids. Don't have at least finish the 12th grade. At least finish the 12th grade. I mean, because in America, your first accomplishment as a grown-up would be finishing high school. If you don't finish high school, then your life is going to be tough unless you are some sort of genius and you come up with a great idea. And then and again, just because you don't finish high school now doesn't mean you can't be successful. But you will not be successful in the normal lanes of success that you have, because people always want they want to know that you can complete something. You know, they want to know that you're willing to stick it out, do what you got to do in order to be successful. That's why we look at you for high school. Okay. That's why we look at you for high school, see whether or not you can finish it. And I mean, I'm all for GEDs. You know, I think GEDs tell you what you actually know. High school just meant you went there for 12 years. So I think GEDs are actually a little bit more to me. And this environment right now where they teaching kids that that men can have babies and a woman or a man can transfer themselves from one sex to another just because of their mental state is kind of like backwards. So yeah, I'm more excited about seeing a GED than I'm a high school diploma these days. Okay, in public school, not in private schools, because private school can teach you the regular science. Public school can't teach you regular science anymore. You know, as a matter of fact, does anybody ever take frogs apart anymore? Does anybody take frogs or anything apart like that? As a matter of fact, somebody need to make sure my phones are working today. So I need a commo check here just to make sure that we are, because yesterday I had people calling and people couldn't hear them. So I just need to know that it's working. That's all I want to do. All right. So again, are we clear about what happened in Washington, D.C.? Are we clear about we need the federal government to do what they're doing in Washington, D.C.? Washington, D.C. is not a state. It is called District of Columbia. They don't have a governor. They don't have so the president, as a matter of fact, Washington, D.C. actually constitutionally belongs to the Congress. Okay, it belongs to Congress. They actually want stateship. Really? I don't think so. We don't need another liberal bastion, okay, in America, especially in our capital. I mean, we already got it, but we don't need to give you guys too much power over there. Okay, we don't. Okay, I mean, has logic and reason left the building in America? Has it really left the building in America? I mean, really, we just. I mean, and I don't agree with everything that Trump does. Not everything. I don't like the way we do immigrants right now. I don't like the fact that we'll show up at a place and surround people like they're a bunch of crooks. They were invited to this country by the Biden administration and just about every other administration. And they said, come, and they came. I don't blame people for trying to better their life. I really don't. And again, I ask the question all the time. Is the immigration issue, is it about space? Can't be, because we got enough space in Wyoming and Montana and places up there. We can make a country out of the space that's up there. Or is it about culture? Or are we kind of prejudiced? I mean, really, are we kind of biased? Really? I mean, America does have a history of that. You know, there was one time they say no Irish supply, so it wasn't just getting black and white folks didn't even like each other sometimes. Okay. No Irish supply, no Chinese. The Chinese came over and helped build the railroads and stuff like that. But is it a bias? Is it discrimination? Which is what we just won't say. But is that what it is? It can't be land. It can't be space. And the more people you have over here working, not robbing us or anything, working, you have more people that are paying taxes. Okay, so why is it that so many people are hard on immigrants? As a matter of fact, the only non-immigrant in America is black folks. We didn't immigrate over here. We got the bus ride, okay, the boat ride, whichever the case may be, and it cost us a great bill of humanity to be here. To the people. And I think sometimes if I had a word to lead to posterity, it would be do your best, because somebody paid for it. Do your best. You know, if you're going to go to school, do your best, because somebody's life paid for your ability to do it. Somebody went through hell. Somebody was hung. Somebody got killed. Somebody was denied their basic human rights. Do your best. And that's what irks me sometimes about some of the things, some of the cultural things that we have brought into our communities. Okay, do your best. Do your best. That if I had a word to leave, it would be do your best. And the way I'm seeing right now, I guess he hung up. What I am seeing right now is that we just don't do our best. We make excuses for failure. Do your best. Okay. Now I wonder what he wanted. Let me see here. Okay, now let me see what Duke wanted here. Oh, Dookie. Duke. Let me see what Duke wanted here. I don't know. I don't know where he went. What he went. Oh, there he is, right there. Okay, let's see what he wants. I don't know what he wants, but he called. Then he hung up. So we'll see what he wants. Da 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 da. Okay. Hey. Oh, the numbers here. What are our number here? It's what is my number here? Okay. What is my number here? 521-2963. I got to make sure that my commo is working this morning. Okay, because I want to make sure that. So Dr. Joe, Don says he like to meet you. Okay, and he wants to have breakfast with you. Make sure he pays though. Now, man, you call me up and then you don't answer the phone. What's up with that?
Yeah, you cut me off some kind of way. You know how you like to hang up on people?
I didn't hang up.
I guess we did.
Why would I lie? Why would I lie?
So I had a question. I had this question I had to say for the smartest guy on the airways you claim to be, you know?
Yeah, yes, I am. Yeah.
And so I got this question for you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fresh out of the oven this morning. Now, I kind of like what Trump is doing by going up there and you know, getting your kids and putting them in check for a little while, you know, stop them from taking people's cars and
I'm good with that too. Yeah, I'm good with that.
Beating up people and everything. You know, I like a lot of that.
Yeah.
I like that. You know, you need to stop in Birmingham and Montgomery and different places, you know, and in the state of Alabama also.
Mm-hmm.
But my question to you, sir.
Well, let me hold on.
All of that is fine and dandy.
Before you ask the question, I just want to make sure if people are hearing you. So if is anybody hearing the caller on the phone? Because yesterday I had a problem with the call. I just want to make sure that. So somebody send me a message here. Or you can text me or whatever the case may be. Let me know if you can hear my caller because he always says something that is profound. Okay, something that is profound. I don't want to deny the world of his profundity. Okay. So
go ahead and put my check in the mail, son.
Yeah. Okay. Now go ahead.
All right. This president that all of a sudden wants to be the law and order president all of a sudden for all of us, and but all of this would look good for him if, I got to use that word if, you use if in many ways, if a frog had a pocket to the gun to keep the snake off his butt, But back to my point, sir, all of those individuals that beat the hell out of the police January 6th, sir, you don't like to talk about it. I know you don't like to talk about it. But he pardoned all of these individuals, okay? He pardoned all of these people, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But so how can you tell us that you are this law or order president when you did that shit? Oh, crap right there, I meant to say. Can I cuss on here a little bit?
Well, yeah,
president cuss all the time.
But we're not on the airways, so yeah.
I don't want president cuss all the time.
Yeah.
So he say what in the hell he want to say and do it like he want to do, but y'all can't do it. I send the damn National Guard to put y'all ass in check if y'all get out of hand.
What did the president have to do with what happened on January the 6th? What did he do?
Talking about the fact, nope, he pardoned the hell out of individuals, okay?
And I think they got too much
time.
So
that means something to the people that in this country that you want to be a law and order president for everybody, but you pardon people that you bragging about how good you love the police now, and and everybody should respect the police, but you pardon people that beat the hell out of police, and here one of them died, didn't he?
Well, he died of a heart attack, not because.
But he died. I don't care how he died.
But people die. People die every day. I can't blame Trump for that.
But what I'm saying, I ain't talking about that. I'm not talking about the incident. So you sound like a Republican now. You want to change the subject. Let's talk about the subject matter at hand. This president pardoned these individuals, these criminals. All the above was in the mixture of the group of people that he pardoned. Okay. You had all kinds.
But that's why we have pardons, because people do wrong things. That's what it's for.
What I'm saying.
That's what it's for. People do wrong things sometimes.
But what I'm saying though, Calvin, though.
Yes, sir.
These people beat the police that he's loving all of a sudden.
And the police doesn't beat people. So I mean,
he pardoned these people, Calvin. Why did he pardon these people?
Mm-hmm.
If he loved police like
because that was a political move, what happened on January the 6th. And here's another thing. If the police had done their job on January the 6th, because Pelosi and all these people were
hold up, Cal.
It wouldn't have happened.
So all those people that got their hair beat out of them it was political or these were thugs that did that to them.
Well, okay, the behavior was thuggish. I'm gonna give you that one. But
and the individuals that did it was what?
Well,
were they political or do the political to keep your ass out of jail?
Well,
you keep talking about everything political. It's not political. They wanted to show that they was badasses when they didn't
they
destroy the Capitol.
Well, let me ask something. They got tired of having the courts interfere with things they knew constitutionally the court had no purview over. In a lot of those cases,
these same thugs out here in the street that doing their stuff up there in Washington.
Yeah.
Okay. They feel that they should be doing the stuff they're doing. If you want to count criminality type behavior, that is normal.
Well, just to answer the question, the clemency and the pardoning of crooks is something that every president has done. Obama did 1,927 of them, and he gave 212. He just.
So you want to go way over in the bushes?
Every president, and Biden did it. But
that's not my point I'm making, dude. You trying to get off the subject matter. See, I'm trying to pinpoint you that this man all of a sudden wants to, send military out there in the streets and just intimidate people, people and everything.
They need to be intimidated.
But he pardoned people that went up there and beat the hell out of folks, Calvin. You don't want to talk about that.
Who did they beat the hell? The only people that got killed in that thing was what the U.S. government agent shot a woman who didn't have a gun.
But let's take the police down. I'm focusing on the fact that he allowed these individuals to beat up on a police officer.
The police officers beat up on us sometimes.
But he's sending police out there in the streets to control folks.
Did you hear the statistic? In 3 months, they had 469 shootings in Washington, D.C.
I know about all the killing nationwide.
I ain't talking about the nation. I'm talking about the nation capital.
It would sound better. It would have been better and helped Trump out better if he wouldn't have went for these thugs.
Listen, that's the nation's capital. Shouldn't that place hold that's the people's city. That's the people's house up there. And we got thuglets.
Where I live too is I call it the capital of Montgomery.
But it ain't the capital of the nation.
And the capital of folk deposit, or the capital of
Did you
Baldwin
know?
County.
Did you know that?
Every what I'm saying, every city that individuals live is their capital in their
That's
heart and
true.
mind.
But did you know that
Okay.
some Jewish diplomats got murdered in Washington D.C. recently? That kind of
Well,
stuff. That kind of
well,
stuff started
Calvin,
wars.
a bunch of babies died in these school shootings too. Hell, ain't nobody doing nothing about that yet.
Well,
So we can
that's
pick and
that's
choose
up to
on
each city, though.
how people died and
Wait a minute.
who
That's up to the
died.
cities to handle that, though. But Washington, D.C. is the nation's capital where we have diplomacy, we have embassies, we have this and that, and we don't need a bunch of thuglets going
I
out.
don't give a damn where you're from. It shouldn't matter where you're from.
Well, it does matter.
Damn about to be in the capital.
It does
okay?
matter. It does
matter. Fact, yes, no. Somebody, huh?
It does matter.
Death is death. Death is death. So I don't
That's
give
true.
a damn where they die at.
I hear you, bro.
Every little Mayberry small town that I grew up around back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
Mayberry type places. Hell, they got guys walking down the street with assault rifles that the governors of Alabama say they can walk around with in their hands.
Yeah, they do that here. I don't like it.
So what I'm saying now,
yeah.
You can't pick and choose the cities where crime is located, dude. My point I was trying to make, I guess.
Okay, but I do think so. You don't think nothing should be done about the random acts of violence in Washington?
Didn't I say when I came on the airway, I appreciate what he's doing, but
okay, so
it would have looked better. It would have looked better for him if he hadn't pardoned those individuals.
That's why the government has the power to pardon, because some people need a break.
Then you put the damn same folks on your team.
What's wrong with that? Listen,
the one that wants to beat the hell out of the police, you hired them to be part of your team, your FBI team.
And again, he's not the only. He's not the only person that did that. Roosevelt.
I don't want to hold the cause up, man. But
yeah, Bill Clinton.
I'm light on you right now, but you know me. You got to go at it, dude.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
But I tried to keep you in the road. I tried to keep you in the road.
I got you. But let me get
the matter at hand. But you want to get off in the bush.
Bill Clinton did. Wait a minute. Bill Clinton did 396.
Over other cities.
Ronald Reagan did less than anybody. He gave 393 pardons or commutations. Bill Clinton.
See, I ain't counting the pardon. Because Trump flirting pardon this doggone child molesting woman. He's flirting with that a little bit instead of saying, "Hell no, I won't pardon her." He said, "I got the right to do it if I want to."
Well, this whole this whole thing. What's her name? Maxine. What is her name?
But all what all this stuff is about, right?
Yeah, that right there. I believe that a lot of people who we would never believe would be involved in that kind of thing, names are stuck out there someplace and they don't want it to be known, and they hung out with. I mean, I've heard Bill Clinton's name. I've heard a lot of. I even heard Obama's name mentioned.
So one question, though, Calvin.
Yeah.
Why your president leading this whole thing? Why he get upset? He tired of talking about this bullshit and all that on TV.
Well, and again,
why is he getting upset? Why is he getting so upset if his name is not in there somewhere?
Again, and here's another.
Why he get so upset?
What if they didn't know what the guy was doing? I mean, really, what if they did not know?
Calvin, that's my question right quick.
I don't know.
Why is Trump getting so upset? Why do you think he is getting upset?
Well, maybe just tired of hearing about it. He said,
I
ain't do it.
People,
yeah.
Now, if me and you were acting like that around our boys, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What our boys gonna say about us when you walk away?
Well,
what they gonna say? What your boy gonna say?
Well, they're gonna say. But
what they gonna say? Let me hear some of it.
No, I mean they gonna say he must be guilty.
But he's down there. He's getting more too offensive about this thing, ain't he?
Yeah.
Defensive. Let me say the right word for curmudgeon. He try to correct my grammar this morning if he's listening. Did Curmudgeon call your show?
He's listening now. Actually, he's whining.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying today.
Yeah, he's there.
For people who hadn't heard me before, I'm pretty intelligent and all that, but I use country slang, and when I express myself on the airways sometimes, and I just talk foolishness a lot of times. But that's the way we do. That's the way we do it on the airways. But you have to talk foolish with Calvin sometimes to get a point across to him.
Yeah, but I'm kind of hard.
But Calvin, Trump is mad defense about this thing, but instead of just saying when they ask him would he pardon this lady, Trump say, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a good answer about this lady.
Again, listen. There's so many things that go
I'm
on.
asking you now, Kevin.
Yeah,
I'm asking you
I
your
don't
opinion.
know.
Do you think? I'm
Mm.
asking you. You know this woman history of, doing this thing with old Epstein and all that.
Mm-hmm. Well, brother,
she's in jail. She's in prison already. Was in max security
right?
prison
Because
already. Okay.
they found that
But
they found that she helped him confiscate girls and put them in that lifestyle. I mean, I think she should be and she in prison. Now,
right. But Trump then went got her out of prison
well, I don't
and
think he got out
interviewed
of.
her when
Okay.
they couldn't produce these files. Okay, your boy couldn't produce these files. Your guy White House couldn't produce these files, so they went grabbed her. Hey, what they grabbed her for? Huh? But this same president and his teams sent her to a minimum security prison somewhere.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, brother. Again.
So I'm talking about what the ball would say about all that, Kev. Your balls.
Well, there are a lot of things. Listen.
There are
a lot of things in Washington D.C. that happen, and a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that we don't know. So I don't know.
But what I'm saying, all this going on right before our eyes.
But I will say one thing: it would be suspect. Just to be intellectually honest here, it would be suspect if he pardoned her after knowing. But that's what pardons are for. It is to forgive.
You just don't. I mean, this is a hot issue right here. Half of your team, half his supporters pissed off because he didn't produce the goods like they promised. Okay, they bragged about it. It was coming up soon, and it didn't show up. So these people already mad. So you're gonna gaslight them now with some bullshit, like Trump say. Okay, and tell them that okay, I get her in here. They didn't ask for her. They asked for the damn files. Okay, they don't want to talk to her. Hey, she's gonna try to save her monkey ass anyhow.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's keep it in the road here now. But he want us as the American people just sit back and think this normal right here, that this behavior is normal, and saying, this hoax and bullshit need to go away.
Okay. Well, again, that's above my pay grade up there. But I would say it would look suspect if he somehow pardoned her in the midst of an investigation. It would look suspect.
What I'm saying, you shouldn't even flirt with pardoning somebody like that. You know,
unless he knows something that we don't know.
But she don't deserve a damn deal. What I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I'm glad I'm not the president, and I don't have.
I'm not saying that. Well, you scared to say something about this for some reason.
Well, no, I'm not. I just all I know. I
know, but Kevin Elkins, I know, will give his opinion. Do you think something's familiar right here?
Well, I think if it goes through, listen.
Well,
I think.
Why would you flirt? Why would you flirt with the fact of partner this interview?
Again, why do we partner in there?
I'm gonna stick with that question for.
Yeah, well, let me cogitate on that.
How you say it? Yeah, they use your concept.
Let me cogitate. Let me cogitate on that. Yeah, we'll
go talk to your boys on the corner about that. See what they would think.
Yeah, as usual, appreciate you. Give you 16 minutes to miss me. Yeah, let me cogitate on that one. I think certainly if he gives her what is her name, Giselle or something like that, he certainly would look somewhat suspicious, but that don't mean it is. Okay, it just you remember I didn't drop out of school. I dropped into school periodically. I didn't drop out of school. I'm put it this way. I got a high school diploma and I got some college. Okay. So whatever. I mean, you were so as a matter of fact, back in the day, you couldn't even get in the military unless you got out of high school or got your GED, whichever one it was. And I did get the GED because school was boring to me at that particular time, especially when listen, I could go down there and take a test and see I was smarter than everybody else. and get my high school to think, why in the world I want to sit there for another year? Really? Seriously, really? Why do I want to sit there for another year if I was able to pass my other stuff up? Okay. I did math. I did science. We wrote. We did all kinds of things. Everybody said, I trust people with GEDs more than I trust people with high school diplomas. Okay. I ain't mad at them. Don't get me there. You know, I ain't mad at you. Why do Democrats hate Jews? I think that's a great question. I haven't figured that one out yet. I have not figured that one out yet. Well, Duke did say he was intelligent. And listen, if nobody else can believe you, if you can't believe your own self, then you know, that's what I'm saying. Somebody said that Obama said that all boys should hang out with gay men. I don't know if he said that or not. But who's this calling me a hypocrite? Okay. If I'm a hypocrite, tell me where I'm. See, y'all got to give some proof of this. Where am I a hypocrite at? Just show me where I'm a hypocrite, and life goes on. Just show me where I'm a hypocrite, and I mean, give me some proof here, Christina. Give me some proof. Okay, show me where I'm a hypocrite. That's all I'm just saying. Show me, and if you're right, then I will I'll do the right thing. Okay, I'll explain it. Now, somebody said that the president, the former president, pardoned his son. Now I got to tell you. Now, if I'm president of the United States and my son gets into a little trouble, if it's strictly about he didn't kill anybody, yeah, I would pardon him too. If my son did something stupid and I had the power to cleanse him of it, I would do it too. I don't know any father. I don't really like Joe, but Joe was pretty smart in his younger days. But any man that wouldn't pardon his own son, his own child, with all that power, don't need to be president of the United States, because he ain't gonna pardon you. So yeah, I didn't have any problem with him. As a matter of fact, I would have thought less of him had he not pardoned his son. Son did something wrong, but his son was on drugs. I've never been on drugs, but I do know that once you get in that world of drugs, it's very difficult to get out of it. Okay, I've never been on them. That crack stuff, evidently that crack stuff is really, really damaging. Okay. Somebody said his auto pen has to pardon his entire family. Well, again, though, is there anybody out there that would not pardon their own child if he got into trouble and he had the power to do it? Of course we would. Of course we would. I would too. I mean, again, you would say, well, he won't even pardon his own son. Because what would happen is that if he pardoned other people and wouldn't pardon his own son, we'd have thought him less of a man. So let's not be, okay. I'm still trying to get Christina to tell me where I'm a hypocrite at. Just call her, brother. And I'll explain my position. But where am I a hypocrite at again? Again, I don't know. Now here's what I am not. I am not so concrete in my in my philosophical belief that I can't change my mind if it makes sense. Okay. So I'm not so concrete that I won't know, so stern, because if a branch doesn't bend, then all it does is break. So sometimes people have changed my mind, about some things. I said, okay, that if it makes sense, then let's rethink about it. Let's regurgitate this and see if it makes sense, even in the wildest kind of way. So I'm just saying. So I'm not a hypocrite, but I will. Somebody once said, if everybody's thinking the same, somebody ain't thinking. Okay. So I will rethink my position on some things. Okay. Now, here's some more news that you probably didn't know about. The Washington Post indicate that the Pentagon is evaluating plans to set up a task force of National Guard soldiers who would respond to riots, violence, and unrest in American cities. This is a kind of a dangerous thing to me. The reports say Alabama is included in the tentative plans as the host of one or two planned bases for domestic civil disturbance quick reaction force. I understand the principle behind it. I understand the principle behind it. But if you do that, I think it's the same thing as bringing the UN into America when we disagree with our government. I don't know if that's a great idea, especially people from other places. They don't know me. They don't know my neighborhood. They don't know me. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I don't like that. What say you? You know, again, if you can, 521-2963 is the number here. I just don't know if that's a good idea or not. And especially if they get to go play, let's say Alabama National Guard is some of the members of our National Guard are on the quick reaction force, and they go to Montana. Well, they don't have any allegiance to Montana. They don't know anybody up there. None of their families there. I think power sometimes corrupts people. And I think getting outside the bounds of Alabama, going to Minnesota, going to Washington, D.C., whatever, that's why the National Guard is the National Guard. And I think every state's got enough National Guard of its own that they don't need to involve people from Alabama into that thing. Okay. So why did he say he wouldn't pardon his son? Because he was being political. Everybody knew he was going to pardon. He was going to pardon Hunter. I mean, everybody knew that. If you didn't know that, then you've been sleeping on. You smoking marijuana or something. When he said no, all I heard was yes. Okay, but he was trying to see whether or not he's going to have a hard time getting back into the White House. That's the only reason why he said no, because he didn't want people to hold out against them, especially who's got kids in prison and things of that nature, because they would have used it as a talking point and got him defeated. But he got out of the race, which was a good thing for him. I saw him yesterday on the View, and he's an elderly gentleman. You know, he's an elderly gentleman. As a matter of fact, Trump's getting elderly too. I didn't know Trump's almost 80. But anyway, so I'm just not against them pardoning his son. I would have said the same thing too. It was a political move. Is there any man out there that wouldn't pardon his own son if his son screwed up? Outside of killing somebody, money. You get pardoned. You may have to work for the rest of your life to pay it back. Well, maybe not, but sometimes. But is there anybody out there, any of you men out there, that would not pardon your son if you got in trouble and you had to pardon? Of course you would. Of course you would. I mean, of course you would. Me, I would too, in a heartbeat. Okay, after I smack him around a little bit and say, hey, don't be stupid twice. If I wasn't the president, you'd be in jail right now with Big Bubba looking at you at night when you go to sleep. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Let me see. Duke says Obama says, boy, yeah. I still don't understand why it seems that Democrats don't like Jewish people. I'm amazed at the whole Jewish issue in America now. I mean, I'm just amazed at it, that we still have these conversations in the year 2025. I mean, I just don't, I don't know. But anyway, we got on this conversation about whether or not the president should have federalized the policing of Washington, D.C. I happen to think it was a good move. Hopefully it won't, it'll serve its purpose, and we'll keep moving on. Okay. Hopefully it will serve its purpose. So I can't believe though, from March to May, they had 469 shootings over a 3-month time. That's the Pentagon wasn't shooting that much, and they right up the road in Virginia. Okay. There's something wrong in DC. Like it is in most urban meccas. There's something wrong. The philosophy of the Democrats is wrong. Because and yesterday I showed you yesterday, every city in America, every last one of them that is saturated with crime, low expectations, and bad education system. Every last one of them is ran by a Democrat. And it's not, it is the philosophy that they share together that makes, and now somebody tell me, why would that be? Why would that be? But every last one, and it is. DC is a Democrat-run hell, and it is. But again, every city in this country that has overwhelming violence, every city in this country that has bad, that has a terrible public school system is ran by Democrats. Now, and what's the common denominator? The common denominator is the way you see life, the way you see that. I mean, every last one of them. I mean, it is what it is. Okay. I mean, it is what it is. So now, if y'all can tell me, I'm listening here. Can somebody tell me why that is so? I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll wait for somebody to call and tell me why is it every city that's all messed up with crime and a bad education system and high unemployment is ran by a Democrat? Yeah. Now, unless you missed this yesterday, okay? Because I did give you this information yesterday also. I'm just saying, okay? I'm just saying, every last one of them, okay? Every city with the highest crime and it is ran by a Democrat. Okay, I mean it is what it is, and there's something wrong with the philosophy of Democrats. Okay, there's something wrong. I don't know exactly what it is, but there's something wrong with the things they believe. I mean, men can be women, women can be men. There's just something wrong. Okay, there's just something wrong. You know, we blame poverty for crime, but crime creates poverty. Okay, it doesn't. No, it's got nothing to do with crime creates poverty. Poverty does not create crime. Okay, and those people who come up with that lie, which is all it is a lie. You know, they're just lying. They're just wrong. It's not true. And my life experiences have seen it. Again, I did the research over the weekend. Just about every city in America that's up the creek is ran by a Democrat. Okay. And they're a majority black city. They are. There's no doubt about that. They are. Okay. So, and because most black folks are Democrats. Well, as a matter of fact, a vast majority of them are Democrats. And why is that? I don't know. Do they really feel? Do they really? Or is it? Because you know, is it that they feel that we don't have the mental intelligence to understand logic and reason and to be productive citizens like everybody else? I mean, do they not? No, they want a subservient group of people who feel as though they can't do anything without them. They want a group of people in this country that always need the government. Okay, that's what they want. That's what they want, and they you know, again, I'm going with Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan said, "The worst thing you ever want to hear is I'm from the government and I'm here to help you." That's you know, and that's a lie. Okay, but anyway, so much for that. Again, last Friday, we had a shooting, one dead. I mean, we shooting each other here all the time too, so I don't know what to do about it. But so this weekend, I took the time out to see what do all of these people have in common. Why all around this nation? Why do we? What do we have? What's the common denominator? And it is a mindset. Okay, it's a mindset. It's not your fault. It's somebody else's fault. You're not a product of your own decisions. Well, we are. I mean, we are a product of our own decisions. And so why is it that we can't seem, I just asked the question, why is it that we have so much crime? Montgomery and Birmingham is on the list of some of the most crime-filled cities in America. Montgomery is on that list in Alabama. So the common denominator is that they all believe in, they all believe in they all believe in the democratic philosophy that it's not your fault, somebody else's fault. Sorry about that, but that's just the way it is. Okay, I'm just saying. So it seemed like to me that that's where we are in America today. That's why nothing ever changes. That's why I get a friend who says the reason why nothing changes because everybody's using the same play card. Everybody's using the same play card. It's like the Cowboys who keep bringing back Dak Prescott, who sucks as a. But because of political correctness and because he's a black quarterback, we gonna keep him. Well, Dallas spent more money on football players than almost any other team and ain't been to a Super Bowl and says, I don't know how to win. I don't know how to win. Okay. How long? Okay. But we keep putting them, we keep putting them there. So I guess there's a reason for that. I guess I'm just not sure. Something's going on in time and space. You can't, at some point, we have to realize that what we're doing is not working. Okay, it's not working at all. We got to realize that at some point and move on to another plan. Okay, because look at Dallas. If Dallas don't get to the Super Bowl, I'm never gonna watch them again. They keep bringing back this sad quarterback named Dak Prescott. They bring him back and he sucks. He just sucks. He's not even that good. Okay. And then who's the quarterback for the Steelers? What's his name? He's whining all the time too. What's his name? Aaron Rodgers. He ain't won a Super Bowl in a long time either, but still whining. Okay. Now let me give you this information right here. Then I'm gonna be done in a few minutes. But okay. Now, where's my stuff? Okay. How is crime categorized? Well, there's violent crimes, and then there's crimes that are not so violent. Violent crimes include homicide, rape, robbery, and aggravated assault. Okay. Property crimes include, of course, are burglaries. People breaking into your house when you're not there and things of that nature. Theft and auto theft. Okay. What are the most dangerous cities in Alabama? I went to this yesterday. We're going to do it one more time. The number one city in Alabama that has the most crime in it is Birmingham. Okay. It tops the list of Alabama's most dangerous city. Who's it ran by? A Democrat. With 14.2 violent crimes and 52.6 property crimes per 1,000 people, 1,000 residents. Okay. The city's West Precinct alone accounts for 38% of all shootings. Okay. Then let's get to Montgomery. Montgomery, what makes Montgomery dangerous? Well, Montgomery reports 10.9 violent crimes per 1,000 residents, with domestic violence making it nearly 1/3 of that rate. The city also sees 43.7 property crimes per 1,000 residents. Okay. Now, which are the most dangerous? Well, here they go. Birmingham, ran by a Democrat. Bessemer, I think it's ran by a Democrat. Mobile, is that Stimmy? Well, is he a Democrat? He may be a Democrat. Who's the mayor of Mobile? But it's on the list. Montgomery, we got a Democrat. Selma, we got a Democrat. Anniston, got a Democrat. Pritchard, got a Democrat. Gadsden and Tuscaloosa and Dothan. Now, what they all got in common? They're all Democrats. I mean, that's just what it is. Where are the most dangerous cities in America? Okay. So I got the facts to back me up. Memphis, Tennessee, ran by a Democrat. St. Louis, Missouri, ran by a Democrat. Little Rock, Arkansas, ran by a Democrat. Minneapolis, Minnesota, ran by a Democrat. Detroit, Michigan, ran by a Democrat. Kansas City, Missouri, ran by a Democrat. New Orleans, Louisiana, ran by a Democrat. Cleveland, Ohio, ran by a Democrat. Birmingham, Alabama, ran by a Democrat. These are on the most dangerous cities in America. Now, Montgomery didn't make that one. We're just one of the most dangerous cities in Alabama. And Houston, Texas, okay, which is, I think, now it didn't tell me what Houston, Texas guy, what he's not a Democrat now. He calls himself a independent, but his whole life in politics, he ran as a Democrat. Okay. So I'm just saying, the mayor of Memphis, Tennessee, a guy named Paul Young. Okay. St. Louis is Kara Spencer, a woman. And all of them are Democrats. LaToya, Justin Beer, Randall Wolfen, which is next to us over here. So, I mean, there's something wrong with the philosophy of these people. Something's wrong. I don't know what it is, but their thinking process is not, well, I'm not I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican either. I'm more of a libertarian moderate, a moderate libertarian. I think sometimes the Democrats are right and sometimes the Republicans are wrong. But I think most of the time the Republicans are right and Democrats are wrong. But that's another show, okay? So I'm just saying that it is what it is, and until my folks, and here's the thing about it, I don't know why Black folks follow this party when it is our cities and our communities that tremendously suffer under the leadership of Democrats. Okay, now Z, I don't know what Z is. I don't know what Z is. I don't know if he's going to be a Democrat or a Republican, but I do know one thing. He said if he could have voted last year, he'd have voted for Trump. So I don't know what he's going to be, but now that he's of age to vote the way he wants to, and my other son, I don't know who he votes for either. Okay, but I'm just saying there's something wrong with the philosophy that we use. Check the state that those cities are in. Well, I know what cities they're in. I know what cities they're in. I got it right here. You know, but again, how we as a people, as Black people, whose cities, most of these cities with terrible education systems and terrible crime are cities that are predominantly populated by Black people, and now little Mexicans now. Why do we put up with that? I mean, seriously, why do we put up with that? I don't know. You know, I think it's a brainwashing thing. We've been brainwashed. I mean, and the reason nothing else happens, it doesn't get better, because everybody goes in there with the same play card. What I think it happens is that they all got, when they get elected, they got a play card. This is what we're going to say. This is what we're going to do. And we're going to pass this play card to the next guy who wins. Now, I get to keep the card if I win. But if I don't win, then I'll have to give the card up and I'll give it to somebody else. It never changes. Never changes. Give me somebody who, well, I gave you the states. Let me give you states in a minute here. Somebody said, give me the states. I gave you the states. Okay. Memphis, Tennessee, St. Louis, Missouri, Little Rock, Arkansas, Detroit, Michigan, Kansas City, Missouri, New Orleans, Louisiana, Cleveland, Ohio, Birmingham, Alabama, and Houston, Texas. Okay. These are where the dangerous cities are in America, and they all ran by Democrats. Every last one of them. Okay, so I mean, I'm just saying. And if you want to look it up, it is look up a company called Reolink, REOLINK. Okay, look them up, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, what I was surprised about is Bessemer. I haven't heard too many things about Bessemer in a bad way since I've been here. I thought that's where the rich folks live. And also, we have one of the nicest communities in America in Alabama called Vestavia Hills. It's mindset. It's mindset. It's got to be mindset. Of course, most of those folks make over $120,000 a year. But why? What makes them making that much money? Everybody else don't seem to be able to make that kind of money. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. But again, it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh yeah, things will get better when we change our flag and get a free Ferris wheel. I don't know, but these places, we just got a problem. You know, it's just right on, brother. I know. Agree. Dak Prescott is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. Okay, he's not a Hall of Famer. He sucks. He absolutely does. He's just not a good quarterback. And I'm not a sports aficionado, but I can know a good quarterback because I watch enough football games now to know. And go Irish. Now, and okay, guys, I want you to answer this one question. Okay, okay. I got a little more time left. I want to ask you this one question, and I want y'all to answer me. Why is it that America is a different place during football season in this country? Why is it that America, the attitudes are different during football season? We don't become angry at anybody until after football season. So from February to September, we catch hell in this country. Crime goes up. Everything goes up. People get mad at each other. Why is it that during football season in this country, life is grand? People want to help one another. People want to do things. I mean, we're not mad at each other that much. Why is that? Now, I got the answer. I got the answer. I know the answer. So somebody tell me why. Why do you believe that? Why do you believe that's so? Why do you believe that America is a different place? The whole personality of America changes during football season. Okay, the whole it changes. Somebody's got the answer. I know I'm not the only person in the world who know this. Okay, I'm just saying. If y'all don't want to answer me, I'm gonna put that on my Facebook page and see if I can get some answers on that. But there's an answer to that question. Why is it that in this country, during NFL and college football season, we are a better country? We're nicer to one another. Why? Still got crime though, So, but why is it? Why is it that we spend less time hating one another during football season? Matter of fact, we may need to prolong football season in America to get something done. Okay, we may need to do that because we are a different nation during NFL and college football season. We're just a different nation. Okay, nobody knows. I know the answer. Nobody knows the answer. Really, nobody. I mean, you get to talking about football, my. We are no longer mad at each other. We may be mad at our team, the other team, but we're not mad at each other. Okay. Come on, I know the answer, so I need somebody to tell me. Somebody on the Facebook page or send me a text. You can send me a text. The text is on the screen right there. 922-3030. That's my text number. I take texts all the time. So tell me why it is that we are a different country during football season in this country. I did my own analogy. I did my own research. Okay. Oh, okay. Here we go. Ooh. And a woman answered this. It is a gladiator sport and a distraction from the theater we call life, similar to the gladiator in Rome. You know, you almost hit this on the head. You almost, and it's a woman too. That's what I'm talking about. See, I knew there's some women out there just as smart as I was. It allows us to focus on something else, and that's the other guy's team. And the other guy's team is focused on their team. We don't have to focus on we don't have to focus on the things we don't like and the things of life that weigh us down. So we probably need a longer football season. I'm serious. We probably need a longer football season, and then we'd be a better nation. Now, Greg says, because the Democrats get distracted watching TV during the football season. Yeah, and okay, a man was behind my answer this time. Well, whoever that is, at least you picked the right man. Okay, he understands this. Okay, and so this is why, start in a couple of weeks, we're gonna be a whole different nation. We really are. We're gonna be, and Lord have mercy, when the tide hit the field, it's almost like we can breathe again. You know, when Notre Dame hits the field, it's almost like, I can breathe again now. I can hate the other guy's team and not mine. Okay, and that is why we are a different team. Okay, we are a different country. You get along because we are worshiping your God. Well, football is not my God. My God lives someplace. I don't know if it's up or down, where it's at. Up and down. Did you? I don't want to even get to that. That's a sign. Go ahead. I ain't gonna get there. Football is not my God, but I do think it allows us, and like the lady said, it allows us to focus on something else besides ourselves. And for the first time of the year, we get to work together as a team. We have one goal in mind, and that's to push our team to the winning. When the gun goes off at the end of the game, we hope we had something to do with helping them win. If that's nothing more than supporting them. Do you know what would happen in this country if the same attitude was displayed in every facet of our lives? If we were to help everybody the way we help our football teams, we gave as much money as they asked us to have. I really believe that if the tickets went up, I don't even know what a football ticket costs because I don't go out watch it on TV. I haven't been to a football game since 1972. And that was Notre Dame and USC. And I was so high up in the bleachers up there, I still couldn't even see the color of the uniform. That's how broke I was back. But I was at the program called the Big Brothers and the Big Sisters program. And they took me out. And first, it was cold as I don't know what out there in South Bend at that time. I still remember the day it was. But so anyway, we need something to focus on that brings us together. And and football does that every year. It is called a reset. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's called a reset, and we get to do that. So here's what if we could take Christmas, the attitude of Christmas, and put it in a bottle and let it out over a 12-month period, we would be a whole different way. And you know, there's no difference if we had Christmas in July, the same things would happen. It's a spirit. It is a willingness to give rather than to receive. And whether you call it December, because none of us really know when Jesus was born, but we know that he was born. At least all the evidence is there that shows us that he has. But if we could feel that, if we could take that spirit and pour it out over this nation, man, we'd be we would be the title of the greatest country on earth. That would be us. Okay. But unfortunately, we're human beings and we're not perfect. So we do stupid things too. Okay. Like we've done, we will continue to do. Who's this says you trying to play dumb? I'm telling you, Republican states are the problem with high crime. Okay. Now, Eric, I want you to validate that. Seriously, I want you to validate. You're trying to play dumb, but I'm telling you, Republican states are the problem with high crime cities. No. Listen. I've been living too long to even show me a Republican city that is responsible for just tell, give. Reese, figures don't lie, but liars figure. I'm telling you that all the cities I named were ran by Democrats. So tell me, and the people who did the survey were not, according to them, they were nonpartisan. They weren't Democrats or Republicans. So tell me, I mean, come on, just give me some proof. Give me 10 cities ran by Republicans that are in disrepair, education system sucks, and high crime. Just give me 10. And we got a lot of cities around here. So when you can give me the indisputable evidence, I'm gonna call them up and ask them right on the air. I'm gonna say, what's the problem over there? Okay. So just let me saying that doesn't make it true. Okay. When Auburn hits the field, my heart smiles with joy. I understand. Kind of like when Notre Dame hits the field, my heart is with joy too, because we're a team. Okay, I'm just asking the question. Anyway, and Christina, you didn't tell me where I'm a hypocrite at, but we'll say that for tomorrow, because tomorrow is my Friday, and I'm looking for a preacher too. I gotta have a preacher on for a half hour. So if y'all know any preacher want to be on tomorrow, he can do it from his car, his seat, their home, where they are, and we can talk about the good book for about a half hour. Because I just got we have to have that conversation once a week for a little while, just because what we believe makes us who we are, and you cannot ignore it. So why aren't Republicans putting their names on the ticket? Most times you are forced to vote for Democrat. Where? I mean, you can. Well, here's the problem, and I'm gonna tell you something. Black people put ourselves in a position where we have no power. We have no power because Republicans won't work for you. They won't try for you because they know that you have an unnatural allegiance to the Democratic Party. And I call it unnatural because I've never seen people so obligated to somebody who does absolutely nothing for them. But that's why. So we put ourselves in a position where we have less power than people who like marrying people who look like them, okay? Anyway, so yeah, the mayor, well, white guy did run, but they know that black people will vote overwhelmingly 98% for Democrats. We will. That's just what it is. And so we have no power because everybody knows. And Democrats don't have to do anything for you because they already know. They already know they got you. You're going to vote Democrat no matter what. Through hell or high water, you're going to vote Democrat. And therefore, we put ourselves in the enviable position of not having any power. Okay? We have less political power. If gay people get together and say they want something done, it gets done. Because nobody really knows what they're going to vote for. But they know who 98% of black folks are going to vote for, and they're going to vote for Democrats. Therefore, they don't have to work for you. That they can tell you anything. They don't have to do anything for you because they already got you. And the Republicans won't even work for you anymore because they know they can't get you because we've been brainwashed. White folks are not that way. White people don't vote 98% for Republicans. It's about a 50-50 split for Republicans and Democrats. So don't get it twisted. The Democrats don't really need black folks, but what we are the those two scales that you see sometimes. Well, we're the one who pushes an individual over because we'll get on the scale at the last minute and all of us will get on the same scale. So that's why. Anyway, time's up. I got to go. But hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. The good Lord says the same. Appreciate you. Think about them all in cities I told you about this morning, though. All the cities in America that are bad education systems, high crime, low expectations are all ran by Democrats. Don't take my word for it. Look it up. Hey, have a great day. We'll see you later. Really, hopefully I will.